Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I are the co-founders of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Ooh-wee, a warrior. That means someone that has learned to fight for their legacy, to become a leader in their home, their community, their workplace.
And you know what a warrior that we're describing, what he is not, is a bully.
Oh, that's true.
Right, is a bully, or somebody who's always pushing people over, who's always degrading people, or who's always, they're hurting themselves so they will hurt others.
Right.
Right? And so I think this really is a good segment to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Right. And so it might sound like, oh, really? Like, oh, really? Like what? Oh, really? But what we're going to talk about today is how to be nice.
Oh my God. So how to be kind. As Cathy and I were talking about what we want to talk about today.
So that's a test of can you still be nice?
Can we still be kind? And I think in the penitentiary it's always looked at as being weak, and that's what we want to dispel
right.
the myth.
That being nice means being weak.
And we want to talk about that today. So that's today's segment.
Right.
But for those of you who don't really understand what TYRO is something that will empower you to overcome obstacles in your life, right? Overcome your own mind battles that you have about you, your own insecurities. And if you tell me I have no insecurities, you're still asleep.
That's right. Because everybody has some insecurity. And how we find out that we have an insecurity is that we encounter a situation where we feel unprepared to respond or to act the way that we are expected to act. And then we're like, wow, I'm insecure. What should I do? What should I say? And that's how you're going to discover it. But that's why being nice is so important, because when you are nice, you build a solid reputation where people actually are there and they will be very forgiving if you don't always do or say the right thing, right?
I know as we get into this, we're going to really dive deep into what it means to be nice/kind.
Right.
Right, and what all goes with that. But I think when you're find yourselves in prison, man, you find that the guards might not be so nice, and our feelings are hurt, and they come and shake us down, and we start taking everything personal, and it's hard to always just smile, right? And just smile and pretend everything's okay.
That's right.
But we're not talking about being fake.
Right.
We're not talking about, I remember when I was walking through the penitentiary and a guy came up to me and they said, TJ, why are you always smiling, man? And I'm trying to, convince him why I'm happy. He said, no, man, you're in prison. Quit telling yourself that it's okay that where you're at, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be hurting. You're in prison. You don't have to always fake it to make it.
Right. But being nice is a key to success. Being nice is not the weakness. Being nice is not pretending like everything's okay. And so today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what does it mean to be nice, why is it so important to be nice, and how to be nice.
So stay tuned, and we will be right back. So be nice till then.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about something that might be, misconstrued as weakness.
Right. Yes.
Right? Being nice.
Being nice, right? Everybody wants to be nice. Maybe not.
I think out here when we go to a restaurant, Sometimes you come across a waitress or a waiter that might be having a bad day,
Yep.
right? And you expect them to be nice when they're waiting on you, but they seem irritated.
Right, frustrated if you keep changing your order or asking for things a special way, and then they start getting like, okay, fine, right?
And we as the customers are like, that person's not having a good day, right?
Yep.
And so now you're wondering, I hope our food's gonna be good.
Right. So I'll tell you what being nice is not, what it doesn't look like. And you all know that. But when somebody is rude, when they're disrespectful, when they're abrupt, when they're impatient, that's not nice. And so being nice does not mean being weak. It does not mean not being courageous. And actually, if you want to be a powerful leader, you must learn to be nice. There is so much power in being nice that is totally disregarded among men mostly, but also in society. It's like, you know what? If I want to get my way, then I have to be overpowering because I'm not going to get my way by being nice. We want to talk about being nice does not mean being capitulating. That means you don't just give up for the sake of arguing. Being nice does not mean being weak, right? To just say, you know what, I just don't have the backbone, so people are just going to see me as that. You can be firm, friendly, and fair, and that means being nice.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, the 3 F's. How do you empower niceness inside you? How do you, when we talk about being kind and courageous,
Ooh-wee.
see, those two walk together, but you got to be firm, friendly, and fair, right? We're not talking about being weak-minded, weak as an individual, or just always giving in to everything because you want to get along with everybody. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about understanding and being comfortable in your skin, be comfortable in who you are as a man of honor, man of good character. That doesn't mean you have to be a pushover.
You have to be confident in order to be nice, because otherwise you're a pushover. Otherwise you're a fake. Otherwise, you're, I'm going to use the word weasel, right? Nobody likes a weasel, somebody that's just nice because they want you to like them. What we're looking for is somebody that's confident and kind and courageous. That is what nice looks like. And when you have a reputation for being nice, for being kind, courageous, fair, friendly, firm, then you are going to go really far, not just in prison, but as you transition out. Nobody wants to deal with somebody they can't trust. And that's a bully or a weasel you cannot trust.
I don't know if you guys remember the show Leave It to Beaver. And the show Leave It to Beaver, there was a character by the name of Eddie Haskell.
This is a really old show.
Right, it's a really old show. But Eddie Haskell, whenever the parents showed up, he became really kind. And it was obvious in his character that he was a weasel.
Right.
He would call them Mr. Haskell and Mrs. Haskell. How are you today, Mr. Haskell?
He was Haskell.
Right? Oh, he was Eddie Haskell, right. They were, what were their last name? I don't remember their last names, but he would say, Cleaver, that was their last name.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Cleaver. And he would be so kind and considerate to them, and they would see right through him every time. They said, there's Eddie Haskell, always trying to get over.
There's the manipulator. That's different than being nice. A person that is nice is not a manipulator. So here's a perfect example of what not being nice looks like, right? Because if we think about not being nice, that means that we take things personal, that we're impatient, that it's all about us, right? Everything's a value statement, and we don't take the time to really consider the other person's point of view.
And when we talk about the things not being practicing patience, right? I think in the penitentiary, because before going to prison, our attitude was it's all about me, right? And it's not about hurry and wait. It's about get it now. We got that McDonald's fast mentality.
That's right.
So when our life all of a sudden comes to an abrupt stop. Boom, we're doing time, right? But we don't have the programming. We don't have the professionalism to understand that, hey, our world is now moving in slow motion.
Right. Or the character to understand that it's not just about us, right? And so let's share the story. So Ron and I experienced something. We were shopping the other day, and so we stopped at a specific, we won't name the name, specific coffee shop that's very well known. And so we got in line to get our coffee.
And so we're in line, and
there's a long line.
There's a long line. People, we're waiting patiently. Having a good time, looking at each other's eyes.
Being nice,
to each other, right? So we get up there, and I order a specific coffee, and I give her a discount card, right? And she said, this would not work for this.
She says that number's not coming up, it's not working.
That number will not work for this. It will work for something else, but not specifically for what we wanted a discount for.
Right.
But before I had a chance to give her a different phone number.
Right. And so then she starts keying it in. And we're like, well, we've got another number. And so she just looked at us and then turned around and rang it up. That'll be, I don't know, $7.75.
Well, she was very impatient.
Right. And so Ron's like, well, we had another number. Sir, I've already rung you up. And it was just like, wow. So we didn't take it personal because we realized, wow, she's having a rough day. But that was not what she was doing was, you know what, I just want to get through this customer. I have an agenda. I've got to meet my agenda. That is not being nice. So her reputation for us, because we have 2 job openings right now. So if she were to show up and apply for those job openings, would we consider her?
Absolutely
No,
not.
because now we know that there's a limit to her niceness, right?
Right? Now, let me give you another story. Here's a story of a businessman who pulled up into this drive-through, right? And every morning he would pull up to this drive-through, and the lady who would take care of his order, cup of coffee in the morning, she was so nice to him.
Yeah.
She would smile, she would say, and she'd
Have a great day. I hope it's just the way you like it.
And so he carried it, he took it personal to where, I think she likes me. Wow. And so he's single. He says, you know what? I'm going to go on in there. Next time I go in there, I'm going to order from up there. And I'm going to, see if I get the courage to, hey, would you like to go out on a date? So he goes into this restaurant. This is a true story, by the way. So he goes into the restaurant. He sits there and he's watching her work. And he realizes very quickly that she is that way to every customer.
Because it's part of her character. She's not putting on something just to get something from somebody else. And so that's what we're talking about when we talk about being nice. We're talking about actually being kind, considerate, thoughtful, but being strong and courageous.
And sincere.
So we have to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to you about why is it so important to be known as nice.
And we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about being nice.
That's right.
And you know, and we talked about what it is and also a little bit of what it's not.
That's right.
You know, kindness and being nice doesn't mean you're weak. Now listen, gentlemen, I know dads, it's tough in prison, you know, they're gonna take your kindness for weakness. But you know what, you gotta practice being kind because why is this so important? Because your children are watching and they're learning from you, bottom line.
Right. And your reputation precedes you. So if you're always, and you might be thinking, well, that's a good thing. I want to be known as mean. I want to be known as a bully because it protects me. It doesn't. Because what you're practicing inside there, your reputation still precedes you on the outside. And you will find it much more difficult to get reestablished with your family, to get employment, to get a place to live. You want to reach your dreams, you have got to exemplify the characteristics of being kind and considerate and patient, and which all adds up to just being nice.
And you know, one of the things that I've learned since coming home is, you know, every once in a while you might need a letter of reference.
Ooh-wee, not just every once in a while, often.
And if your reputation says that you're not kind, and they get word or they know who you are and they see how you produce kindness or weakness or bullyisms or whatever it is you're doing, that will determine whether somebody's gonna vouch for you.
Yep.
Right? Because if you're not kind and you're not considerate for others, no one's gonna vouch for you. In fact, no one wants to be with somebody who is considerate to others.
So the two big whys are trust and safety. When you're kind, when people know where you stand, being kind, again, we keep going back to this, but we feel like we have to keep going back to it. We hear a lot of men saying, you know what, I'm not trying to be known as the nice guy. The nice guy's weak, he's a pushover, that's not who I want to be. I want to be known as strong, courageous, determined. I want to be known as the guy that's a good decision maker. We're like, right, but in all of those things, if you're not nice, then you will never be a leader. Being all of those things and being kind when you're doing it makes you the best leader out here.
In fact, what those adjectives that Cathy just described, being courageous, being strong, being a problem solver, if kindness is not in that mix, you're not courageous. You're rude.
Right.
You're a bully. Fear will cause you to say things, right, that you might think are not that aren't disrespectful, but they are, because fear doesn't walk with kindness.
Right.
Right? Fear doesn't walk with nice. And if you're afraid that you're going to be misconstrued or misunderstood, then you're not being courageous. You're not being the real man of you.
Right.
You're letting fear dictate your behavior.
Right. But when you're nice, you build trust, because nice people, they tell the truth, but they do it in a kind way. They like if I said to Ron, "Hey Ron, you know what? Why are you wearing that? That looks ridiculous," right? Okay, now, does that make me bold and courageous? Does that make me a strong leader? Does that make me determined? No, it makes me mean and a bully, right? And inconsiderate. But if I say, "Hey, Ron, I wanted to talk to you. I've been watching you, and I think, you know what, you've got so much charisma, but people look at you and their first impression is that you dress sloppy. And so they don't even give you a chance to really share who you are. So let's work on your outside appearance, because you've got the charisma down, you've got the personality to really go far." Now, that is courageous, it's kind, it's showing leadership, right? But it's also being nice. So being nice means considering not just myself and what I want, but also considering what he wants. And so why is that important? Because I am rebuilding my reputation as a person that you can feel safe around and that you can trust.
You know, and I appreciate the example you gave, because it's not only what Cathy said, it's how she said it, right? So how you convey the message to help others is so important. Now, you might still be rough and tough when you're talking to somebody, but you can still be kind.
Right.
You know, you can still be courteous.
You can still be nice.
You know, you can still be nice to people without hurting them. And I know guys in the joint, man, you're like, man, you know what, people always take that for weakness. You know what, that's an urban legend, that's a lie, man. You're in the penitentiary, Dad, because whatever got you there, you're there for that reason, but you were not being kind. Had you been kind, considerate, and nice, right, you would, I guarantee you, your children would not be visiting you in the penitentiary.
That's right. Being nice can stand their own ground. You don't have to defend yourself. Being nice builds your reputation. And so just because I'm nice doesn't mean I'm going to give you the shirt off my back, right? I'm nice, and I'm going to be nice enough to tell you, no, go get a job, earn the money, and buy a shirt. I'll tell you where to buy it.
I was a nice dude in the joint, but just because I was a nice dude in the joint and you came to ask me for a cup of coffee, and this is your 4th time coming, and I said no, I still nice. I said no in a nice way.
Right.
Right.
And nice means also helping you, setting boundaries by helping you become a better person. Because if you're just always coming to me and wanting what I have, well, then I'm not helping you by just continuing to give it to you. That's not nice. Being nice means holding a standard, holding a line, establishing a boundary, and holding that boundary so that it not only protects me, but also helps you become better.
So nice and courageous, kind and courageous, they walk together.
That's right.
They walk together. They don't walk separately. They don't deviate the path. They walk hand in hand. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about how you can implement this new nice guy, you know, this new niceness about you without coming across weak, without coming across overbearing, without being who you're not.
Right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about a word that might be misconstrued as weakness.
Right. Being nice.
And you know what? This is a really good word for my wife. She loves this word, nice.
I know. And Ron, in the past, has always avoided it. He'll say, yeah, we got to be kind. We got to be consistent. We got to be considerate. And I'm like, yeah, all those things mean nice. And he's like, well, he had an aversion to using the word nice because it sounded weak.
But I've been rehabilitated. I've been
Mostly.
domesticated. So
Not at all.
you know what? When we talk about being nice in where you guys are sitting at, this takes a different type of outlook in life. I know we in prison you only have so much possession. You only have so much space. You only have so much where you can even speak your mind. But that doesn't take away from who you are inside. I think that's really important because everybody wants to be treated in a way that is respectful, that brings dignity, that brings confidence.
And when you treat people that way, you are building your reputation and helping other people become better. Just because you're nice doesn't mean you let people infringe or encroach upon your space, your things, or take advantage of you. Nice doesn't let people take advantage of them. Now, nice might give something to somebody, but you know what, I'm deliberately making a conscious decision that I'm going to provide this to that person, not because I'm a pushover, not because I'm weak, not because I'm being taken advantage of, but because I'm making a decision to do that. But nice also says no.
And you know what? And that's a powerful word to really establish yourself in the penitentiary. Because I remember when I first got to Lucasville, and I began the first test was to see how many, and I'm going to use that one. We have a saying in the penitentiary: be careful when you go borrow a cup of coffee. You got a lot of cats in the penitentiary. When I say cats, I'm talking about like when you set a saucer of milk outside the house. All the stray cats come, right? But there also comes a boundary. And when I set up a boundary, and I was challenged for my faith, I was challenged for my manhood, just to see if I would always say yes, or really did my no mean no, is really what the test was. And I was kind and I was considerate, and my no meant no. No, dude, I already gave you a shot of coffee. I said, man, come on, let me get another one. No. Oh, but you're supposed to be this and that. And I said, no. And I was firm. Remember, firm, friendly, and fair, right? But I wasn't overly obnoxious.
And you don't have to be apologetic for being nice. You do not have to apologize for being nice.
That's a good word right there, because I think a lot of times, man, I'm sorry, dude, but I only have one. No, man, you don't got to tell them how many you have. Right. Say, look, man, right now I only got one Snickers bar and I'm not sharing it. Right? And that's okay. We're grown men.
Right. Yep. And so speaking forth the truth is being nice. So that's one way to really be nice, is to make sure that you are speaking forth the truth. Number 2, make sure that you are guarding your own interest while considering other people's interests. Now, that means, like, I'll go back to Ron's cup of coffee. So if he says, you know what, I purchased this coffee, I know I have a limited supply of coffee, I have a limited amount of money, so therefore I know that I have this amount that I can be free with, and I can pass out and I can share. But the rest of this, I know that I have to conserve for me. And that's okay.
When we think about the word share, and that's a whole nother topic right there. You remember in the playground, or you remember growing up with your siblings, maybe at home, and we had to be taught how to share. Right? And really, I think the lesson is we were taught how to be nice.
Right.
We were being taught how to be kind.
But if we give everything away and have nothing left for ourselves, we're not being good stewards. We're not being strong, good, independent leaders. We're becoming very soft. We're becoming manipulated. So when we think about sharing, we think about being nice, that means, again, boundaries. Setting those boundaries, making sure that those boundaries are firm and secure, and you can be nice when you do it. And your reputation will get out. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? TJ will help you. But TJ also is gonna make you toe the line. That's who you wanna be.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's where you really become that strong individual where people will respect you and honor you, and they will take you at your word. They will take you at the way you walk, and they will know that, you know what, TJ will help, or whoever that person is in your life. You know what, you can go so far with that guy, but you also know there's a limit, right? Because if you're constantly bumming and you're constantly asking and asking, but never providing or never trying to figure out how can I become more of a contributor versus an extractor, right? Then you don't get mad when they say no, right? Because that's just the way it is. Just like
and I love
learning
that.
how to share.
Saying no is nice, and so you don't have to apologize. You don't have to explain. A simple, "Hey, can I have that?" No.
No.
And that's nice. That's not being mean.
You know, when we were kids, I remember this walking with my buddy and stuff like that. And when I got one candy bar, right? This is how you steal your own joy from yourself. And maybe you got one Jolly Rancher in your pocket and you walk in the yard, right? And so you reach in your pocket as a kid and you unwrap the piece of candy in your pocket. Come on, guys, you know what I'm talking about. You unwrap it in your pocket, outside your pocket. And then when your friend's not looking, what do? You plop it in your mouth because you only got one Jolly Rancher and you don't want to share it. So you hide it from him. But grown men don't need to do that.
Right.
Grown men don't need to hide what they got. Man, look, man, I only got one Jolly Rancher. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
And we don't take it personal.
Bold, confident,
right?
Consistent, fair, friendly, and firm. Those are all the things that nice is. Nice means considering us and considering the other person. And when you walk in that, by practicing that, by setting boundaries, by keeping those boundaries firm, by saying yes when you choose to say yes, by saying no when you choose to say no, you will get a reputation of someone that leads well, with kindness, with niceness, but also consistently holds the line.
And I want to also add one more thing. And you know the rules inside the penitentiary. I remember I got a ticket once because somebody let me borrow their fan. Right? It was hot in the dormitory and I didn't have a fan. And he said, hey, look, I'm going to be gone all day today. Go ahead and borrow my fan. So it was one of those clip-ons, they clip on. And the rule is what? You don't borrow somebody's stuff like that, right? So I took his fan and I clipped it on my bed and I'm laying there and all of a sudden we got a shakedown came in there and they asked for titles. Right? Whether they were looking for something, I don't know, but they were looking to see if what we had in our possession actually belonged to us. So the word is contraband, right? So I had contraband because I didn't have this title. So not only did I get a ticket, and he was being kind to me, but we both know that was in violation. So be careful, right? Know the rules. And don't get mad if you get a ticket. I got a ticket for contraband. He got a ticket for accessory to the crime, if you will. Right?
So remember, consider you first and then consider the other. So when we come back, we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to be talking more about being nice, being kind. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about being nice. You know, that's kind of a tough subject to really help convey, I think, at times, because we live in a world that, you know what, nice guys finish when?
They say nice guys finish last.
But I think we missed the key point of that,
Right.
Kathy. I think we really do. It says nice guys finish last. But the point is, the nice guy finished. He didn't give up. He didn't quit.
But I think there's even a greater point is that there's a misconception that nice means weak. Nice means letting other people take advantage of you. And that is not true.
It's not what we're talking
Being
about.
nice is really important. It's important that you teach kindness to your children because by treating people right, treating people fairly and justly and friendly, you are establishing a reputation that will go before you that you are trustworthy and that you are safe.
You know, and being safe, especially if you have a felony and you come home, your word right there is doo-doo, right? When you get home, everything you say and everything you do is suspect, right? And suspect and open for examination, right? So if you can stand a shakedown, then you'll be okay, right? So, but establishing yourself and your credibility as being somebody who's firm, friendly, and fair, which means that you're not only nice, but you're kind and considerate of others, right? That will take you a long way, right?
So as you're looking forward to establishing a new legacy for yourself and for your kids and for the generations to come, you can't do it without being nice. And that means genuine, that means caring, kind, considerate. I know we keep repeating the same thing, but that's because we're dispelling a myth, a lie, that nice equals weak. You need to adapt and adopt a nice and a kind attitude so that when people come in your sphere of influence, they feel safe, they feel that and know that they can trust you, and they know that when you set a boundary, that you mean it, that boundary is there.
In other words, your no is no and your yes is yes.
Right.
And as you establish that, Dad, you will be empowering your children and you will let them know that this is what right looks like, right? This is what it means to live a holistic and a truthful life, right?
So talk to your kids about being nice. Talk to them about the difference between being nice and being a pushover. Talk to them about the strength that is found in being nice and kind and setting firm boundaries, but being fair, friendly, and firm about them. So we hope that today you have learned something that you can apply that's going to help you become a better dad. This is going to help you create a better future. And we want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey.
So until next time, always remember that we are rooting for you.